Hi, I'm Sarah of Sarah Wing Intuitive Arts, and I'm going to talk a little bit today about this piece of art and kind of through the lens of the inner child. And if you don't know what that means, stay tuned. We'll have a little chat. So, and I want to do this video today because tomorrow is a holiday and not all of us are close with our parents. Some of us have gone like no contact with some of our parents. So Mother's Day and Father's Day can be triggering for all kinds of reasons. So since I wanted to do like a little inner child something, we all have inner children, we all have our roots of who we are and our upbringing, and we all have our stories, and we can honor that regardless of if we have um, parents in our life. Okay, so this is a piece. Oh, and I put on this because I thought this is the most Crayola I could do, right? Like kids like scribbling, like doing all the fun like Crayola colors, and brightest eyeshadow I could think of to do, just doing like a bright yellow eyeshadow. But this piece I did a while ago, and so this piece is called Straw House or Straw Maiden because I saw a straw house this way and the straw maiden this way. So when I started doing intuitive art, a lot of times, and still when I paint, I'm constantly moving the canvas in different directions. And a lot of times I'd feel like there would be multiple directions that visually I'd go, oh yeah, it kind of, for lack of a better term, it works well this way or it works well turned another way. And and this in particular, the straw house, I guess I'll point it out. I feel like there's kind of like a fun roof, and then this is like the house, and those are the roots. Um, and those are like birds flying in the air. So it's like just kind of like a forest, and then roots under the house, maybe another tree here. Or straw maiden, which is a little easier to see here because it's almost like she's in nature, right? Um, Almost like she's just set in the tall grasses, and she's very much like um, her wild self. But there's something about this piece in particular that really made me feel like a kid connection. Okay. Um, like the name feels very playful to me. And I am, I think, what you call a zennial. I think that's I've heard like different names over the years. I think the latest is like a zennial. And if you've ever, and I know this happens, I'm sure, in books still, but books where um, like as a kid, I can't remember the name of the book, but I had one I loved where like one side you'd open it up and there'd be a book and you'd flip the book over and then you could read like another story. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it might sound silly. Maybe you can look something up on YouTube if this is confusing to you. But if you know what I'm talking about, it was like so fun and magical because like you flip it over and it's a brand new story. Um, the last time I owned something like that where it was kind of like one side is one story, flip it over, it's a different story, was Bust Magazine from like uh, the 2000s. And they do like Men We Love. And the Men We Love, I remember they do two covers. So they'd have like John Cusack or something. I'm trying to think of one. John Cusack on one side, and you flip it over, and it would be like Elijah Wood, if that's who I'm thinking of. Don't Kill Me, Hobbits. But yeah, if that's who I'm thinking of. So it was just kind of that fun thing. So I'm saying all that to say this same idea of, is it the straw house? Here's the house and the woods and the birds. and the roots and the trees? Or is it the straw maiden in the tall grass? So I just wanted to kind of bring this in today, bringing that kind of playful energy, the playful perspective, kind of bring up some fun memories. It's like anything that felt magical as a kid, right? So if you didn't grow up with those books, but there was something that you could just grab and hold and play with, right? Like I remember I had this Cinderella doll, and it was this, okay, it was like Cinderella, but then if you took Cinderella's dress and flipped it over her head, ha, suddenly she was like covered in soot, right? She was like in her more of like her cleaning, like maid outfit. And if you pulled that over her head, she'd be in like her tiara and her hair would be up in a bun and she was in her ball gown. But there's just something so magical about if you flip something, it becomes something entirely new. And I mean, there really is, right? And if nothing else, it's like this magical change in perspective that happens when we look at something one way versus another. And that is to say, you know, I encourage you to kind of think about things that are fun to you, that are kind of right side up or upside down. Because I think it's nice to remember things that bring you joy and feel magical from different perspectives. So I want to do this today and just make a little video, talk a little bit about why I feel like this always felt like, I don't know, it just always had this kind of kid energy to me. It still does, obviously. And I just want to talk about it, and I want to talk about it today because, like I said, on Mother's Day, Father's Day, those can be days like any holidays. You know, some people are just, it's not their thing. And relationships are everything. That's our life, is relationships. Bad relationships also affect a lot of things. So I wanted to put this out today, the day before Mother's Day, to reach the most people, especially if it's a hard day for you for multiple reasons, and just honor like those reasons are very valid. And hopefully you could connect with this video today, especially if you're kind of doing a social media blackout on certain holidays. And if you have not looked at the link in my bio that says vote for me, I am running in the running for the People's Artist. Please, please, please click the link. Vote for free. It's a click and a vote. It is free, and it helps me go on to the next round. It helps me be in the top 20. I'd really appreciate that support, and I hope you're having a lovely day, whether you're in the warmth or the cold, or it's raining, or you're tucked in bed and not sleeping. And until next time.